Hi, today we're in Bow Willow Campground of Anza-Borrego. It's kind of raining a little bit, you see, but we got the beautiful sunrise. It rained all last night, super windy, great canyon. Look at this beautiful rainbow. Wow. All the way up there, check that out. So there's 16 spots here, 15 were taken. There's ours here. There's two hikes to do. One starts out here, goes around the mountain, ends up at a place called the Rock House. The second one heads out here by the rainbow, goes out to Palms Oasis Campground and nature hike. That's where we find our elephant tree. We're going to do that today, the elephant tree walk. Hi, today we're in Anza-Borrego Desert State Park. Down here, we're at Bow Willow Campground. We're gonna head out to this little trail here. It's called Torote Bowl. That's where we're gonna find our little elephant tree. He's about a mile up this path, hopefully, and a mile back. So please join us as we talk about all these pretty little plants. This is our western Jimson weed. Sacred Datura, right here. All right, here's got a brittle bush, Anza verinosa. Up here we have our Acatillo, Fucaria splendens. Okay, lots of little shrubs and burrow bushes and Cryptantha down here. And here we have a little chuparosa, right? Little hummingbird flowers. Little Sacred Datura here. This is a little mustard. I think this is a Sahara mustard. I'm not quite sure, so we're gonna not pull him up. Here we have a little Cacilia. This is a cleft leaf Cacilia, I believe. Look at that. Kind of like caterpillar, scorpion type flower heads. This guy's a rock daisy. He's an Asteraceae. Those little ray florets, little yellow disc flowers. This area is bighorn country, where our bighorn sheep, Ovis canadensis, they came from Siberia about 750,000 years ago over the ice bridge, got to Alaska, Canada, Washington, Oregon, California, all the way to Baja. Used to be millions of them out here, but now we have just hundreds of thousands. Most of them died from the European cattle, brought diseases. A lot of them died that way. Little cholla, this guy. Here we have a desert lavender, Candia amorii. He's got little bees on him. Look how soft he is. Look at that. So soft. Like the little lavender. This is a smoke tree, Sorothamnus spinosus, or spinosus. Got the great smoky look. This guy down here, he's a Bigelow's monkey flower. Look at that. Little purple guy growing right in the gravelly sand. More Cryptantha here. Another little desert lavender. Okay. Little Sacred Datura. This is Datura radii. Alright, Jimson weed, western Jimson weed. This guy here is I think he's desert tea. It's always hard to tell unless he's got little leaves on him. This guy's dried up here. Let's see, any more shrubs? We hurry up to a little Torote. It's a cheese bush. He's Ambrosia salsola. Means food of the gods and salty in Greek. Look at that. Okay. Let's see. Lots of cool guys up here. I'm gonna head this way. Oh, we got some little poppies coming on. These are pygmy poppies. Creosotes is the genus. Hey, check this out. We got a little heart. Look at that. Because we love Anza-Borrego. This guy loves Anza-Borrego too. He's a mistletoe. It's a desert mistletoe. Phorandendron californicum. He's a parasite. He just sucks on our little host here. And he takes all his nutrients out of him. So look at that. No chlorophyll. He just gets all his water, his nutrients. Sucks everything out. And the seeds, look at the seeds here. Well, there's no seeds on them right now. But they're really sticky and sappy, and the little phainopepla bird likes to eat them and then poofs them out on other branches to spread this guy around our beautiful desert. Man, look how beautiful this is. All these little flowering plants on the rocks. Wow, it's our brittle bush here. Anza farinosa. Right. The rock daisies. It's our tuberosa. Wow. Little desert lavender. All these beautiful little phacelias. Look at those guys kind of bending over like caterpillars and scorpion tails. You got everything here. You don't have to go very far. So our western gypsum weed. It's called a hoary thorn apple. It's a little hairy little apple fruit. Lots of spikes on them. Anyway, this thing's amazing. So we're headed up the trail towards these beautiful desert lavenders. Candia emorii. Right here. Here, they just love this little washed out area. This guy here is called false mustard from the genus Eulobis. He's a good mustard. He's actually not really a mustard. He just looks like a mustard. But there's the bad mustard we'll find out here. It's called the Sahara mustard. Here's another false mustard. Look how big they get. Anyway, the bad mustard's called a Brassica tournefortii. We'll find some up here. I'll show you what they look like. Wow. Tuberosa, brittle bush, beautiful lavender. Maybe a bighorn sheep we will find. Maybe a little desert tortoise, black-tailed jackrabbit, desert cottontail, rattlesnake, maybe a bunch of little blister beetles. It's all gorgeous. All this is rock daisy, all these little guys, lowline guys with our desert lavender. Look at that, unbelievable. Wow, Candia emorii. That's what he's called. Wow, just can't get enough of this guy. It's so soft. Brittle bush. Here's our brown-eyed yellow variety, brown-eyed evening primrose. Look at that guy right there. Little splotches on his leaves. Goes out of the ground. Really soft, herbaceous guy. All right. Here's another brittle bush without flowers. A little more gypsum weed. Check out this smoke tree. Sorothamnus spinosus, or spinosus. These beautiful rocks up here. This is where you're going to find your bighorn sheep. All up in these rocks, grazing away at all the little shrubs. Look at this guy here. Just gorgeous. Little Asteraceae, right? It's got the ray florets and all the lots and lots of disflowers in there. This guy's called Sahara mustard. He's a super invader up here. We don't like him. He's Brassica tournefortii. Right? You need to pull him up here and you're supposed to rip them out and then put them in a bag, throw them in the trash, because he's got these seed pods. He's just got tons and tons of seeds in here. Come out and just spread around. He's really horrible. We have another one here. Look at that, see that? These guys are just, yeah, we hate them. We don't like these guys. But we love this guy, right? Desert lavender. Here we have our ocotillos. See that? Fuchsiaria splendens. Big, long sticks. Lots of spines on them. These guys all have leaves on them because it's been raining a lot. So if it rains, they bloom with leaves. When the leaves fall off, they do photosynthesis through the stems. And then when it rains again, the leaves come back. So you get 6 or 7 or 8 cycles of leaves every year. All right, so we got a little off track, but that was kind of fun. We're back on the main, we're way up there. We're back on the main trail here, labeled with these super clear markers with yellow tips. And it takes about 1.5 miles to the Torote Bowl. Apparently there's lots of elephant trees. Beautiful creosote, Laria tridentata here. And so we're gonna head up here, we're gonna double time it. Make that 1.5 miles in 25 minutes. The sun is gonna be setting soon. So hopefully we do this whole thing in, I don't know, 2.5 hours. Look at all these creosote bushes though. Right, this is the panacea of medicine of our Native Americans. Also called a gobernadora because it's the most prominent species of these deserts. So they call it a gobernador, like a governor. Right, so they say this plant can help cure a series of teas and concoctions and all sorts of tinctures. Here's our trail sign. To cure almost anything that penicillin cures today. This is Sahara mustard. That's bad mustard. Little ladybug. Look at that guy. Oh, it's a beetle. Look at that. That's a blister beetle. Holy smokes. I think that's what he is. Okay. There's a little fork in the road. So the Southwest Grove up here is 1 mile. A lot of Washingtonia folifera. It's our California fan palm. A couple of groves. This is a Torote Bowl. This way. 1.5 miles. But it's real sandy here. Then we get rockier trails up here. It's kind of tough, but I think a lot of people do it, so it should not be a problem. Look at over here. So it's desert sand verbena. Ambronia viosa. Look at that. Beautiful, beautiful purple flowers. But next door, Sahara mustard. That takes away all the fun. All these guys, all creosote. Laria tridentata. So a lot of the little rodents, animals like to live under this guy because he's easy to get through. Because he's got that big taproot, so they just go around the taproot. You get a little shelter in there for keep it cool in hot times, and then warm in cold times. It's called a bursage, a white bursage, a burrow bush. He's Ambrosia dumosa. And you find them growing a lot around our creosotes. Some more sambarina. Here, cholla. So here we have our jumping teddy bear cactus. Cylindropuntia bigelowii. Sometimes it's called a Bigelow's cholla. Look at that guy. So he's a guy that jumps out at you and drops all his little stems or segments. They stick to your shoes, your pants, and they help distribute this guy across the forest so he sticks to like a kit fox or coyote. That's how he gets around. Okay, little burrow bush here, creosote, and jumping teddy bear cactus. So cryptantha, little popcorn flowers they call it. Up here too. This is a barrel cactus, Slimbaceus cacti. We got a little Ocotillo fell to the ground. Little flowers on this guy. So that barrel cactus is Phaerocactus cylindriceus. He always heads or leans to the south or southwest. So if you're ever lost out here in the desert, at least you know which way southwest is. This beautiful Ocotillo. This guy's starting to bloom. These are little flowers ready to come up. These guys here, check them out. They're blooming. Wow. Look how tall this one is. It's gotta be 20 feet tall. So I just saw a tarantula wasp. So maybe we'll find another one. Look at this beaver tail. Wow, Opuntia basilaris. This is a type of prickly pear. Those flat pads real low to the ground. Beautiful, beautiful pink flowers. They're edible. Mostly eat the small pads. Another one here. Beaver tail. There's another barrel cactus. Wow. We got the jumping teddy bear. Just try to follow the trail. And hopefully we'll get there safely. The burrow bush. Ambrosia dulosa, or white bursage. All this here, I call it all the scrubby stuff on the ground. I call it all rattlesnake weed. Yeah, like euphorbias. I call it rattlesnake weed because it has little pussy stuff. You would put it on your rattlesnake bites to help relieve the pain and cure it, but that's just like an old wives' tale. All right, look at this guy. So he's a burrow bush. He looks like a cheese bush. They come from the same genus, Ambrosia, so they look a lot alike. All this growing up on the hill here, it's all rock daisy. Here. These little guys, see a little Asteraceae. It's all rocky, so you got to come up this whole little rocky, thin trail. But it sure is pretty. You spend hours and hours up here just looking at the beautiful plants. Wow. Ocotillo here. Look at this guy. Little barrel cactus. See? Beautiful flowers. And it's got a little pollinator in there. So the higher up the hillside you get these, more and more of these barrel cacti. Here, look at these guys. And they'll start growing just out of all the rocks on the hill. This gets real dry and tough up here, so they gotta kind of come from themselves. Look at these little markers here. Kind of tells you where the trail might be. There's another barrel cactus. Let's see. I think the trail's up this way. I hope. There he is. That's my guide. This is my brother. Right, beaver tail. Another beaver tail. Oh. Phew. You guys are beautiful. Barrel cacti. This little shrub here. That guy, that might have been an indigo bush. Not this guy, he's a brittle bush. Look at that. Just amazing. This is all silt, sand, mud, volcanic material. It all makes up this beautiful mix of soils where lots of things can grow. So yesterday we hiked out to the palm groves out here, and somehow on the way back we made a wrong turn. We ended up way down there by the road. That took a long time. So the trails aren't super marked, so be real careful. Look for the markers. If you go past a marker, and you go a little ways, you're not sure, you go back to the marker. Try Try not to trailblaze it because lots and lots of wrong turns you take that I took myself. Look at these little rocks too. They help show the trail. So here's where we were yesterday. And it says it's a half mile right here to Torote Bowl. Here's the palms over here. We walked a half mile and we completely could not find the place. So we're gonna try again up the trail and hopefully we can figure out how it's marked. So the trail up here is pretty easy, a little narrow, but it's kind of flat. You could walk it here. You see the same old shrubs and plants all along the trail. And yesterday somehow we ended up going down here and get all messed up. So I think it's on the other side of here. It gets real confusing up here, I'll show you. So here's the tricky part, at least for me, yesterday. We're on the trail here, pretty easy. And then it kind of forks off here. Does it? A little bit. Looks like a trail down here. Well, we thought it was a trail, so we took it. But just make sure you veer to the right when you get up here, because it's blocked by these beautiful desert lavenders. They're very nice to squeeze by. Look at that. Candia emorii. Gotta get one of these guys at home. Yeah, all right, beautiful. The tricky part of the path. You're coming down here. You go this way, which is a dead end. We did that already. You go this way. You kind of climb up here, it's a dead end. Or you come this way over these rocks. See that? And there's a trail here, which we have not done before. So we're going to see if maybe this is a trail. I mean, obviously it's a trail. Yeah, we headed down there, out to oblivion. All right. So hopefully right around the bend here is our beautiful Torote Bowl with the great heavy-set elephant trees. We'll find out here. So the trail's really hard. Lots of rocks. It doesn't feel like a trail at all. But when you get to the top, don't give up. You get these beautiful ocotillos. This great view of Anza-Borrego. And finally, holy smokes, I'm worn out. Here we go. Welcome to Torote Bowl. Wow.
Oh, this is him, huh?
And here he is. This is our elephant tree. It's called a Torote. I'm going to take a little break and I'll tell you all about this guy. Alright, so you made it this far in my video, so you might as well learn about our beautiful Torote in Torote Bowl in Anza-Borrego. Kind of give you the lay of the land. Here's our desert. Down here is Bow Willow Campground. It's about a 1.5 mile walk up this hill till you get here, and you saw the way we did. This guy here is a super rare tree, and he only grows as far north as right here in Anza-Borrego. And you find him here and over at Elephant Tree Trail by Fish Creek, which is even harder to get to unless you have a 4-wheel drive, or at least an all-wheel drive. So I tell you about our little tree here, our Torote. Oh, okay, here we go. Be careful. This guy's an elephant tree, Bursera microphylla. He's from the torchwood family. In Spanish, of course, he's called a torote. He's a thick, sculpted, drought-tolerant, evergreen, small tree with this huge water-storing trunk. Look at that. It just stores a ton of water in there. And he thrives in extremely arid desert hills and mountains of Sonoran Desert and out here in Anza-Borrego. He's a semi-succulent. Stores lots of water in his tissues of his trunk. His lower limbs are so thick. Wow. And his, all his wood here. So he's a super slow grower. He only gets about 13 feet tall, 10 feet wide. Most of these trees all have this little shrubby look, sprawling about 3 feet wide. So we got one over here. See that guy there? We got one here. We got one up here. And down in the bowl, I think I see about, I don't know, 5 or 6 of them, but they seem to only grow right here in this little isolated environment. And they got really relatively small branches here compared to this big, thick main stems and branches. Look at his bark flicking away there. Look at that. He's beautiful. Look at him inside there. Wow. Anyway, his bark is light gray to white. It's that papery material. Exfoliating, or he peels away from his trunk. And the younger branches here, these are yellow. The younger branches, they're like this reddish color, see? Just beautiful. But this guy here, he's an evergreen. So he won't lose his leaves. In severe drought or cold weather, he might. But usually, he's always got these little leaves on him. And if he's bare, well, these leaves will develop around springtime based on all the rainfall and water we get. So right now it's March 31st. We had a lot of rain this winter. So these little leaves are coming in just fantastic. But I don't see any flowers on them yet. Let's see if I find a flower if I'm really lucky. Probably not. Look at this beautiful Torote Bowl. Sounds like something you get at a restaurant. So this guy here, I think he's flowering. Wow. A little bit early. How about that? Oh wow. So typically he flowers from June to July. No, he's not flowering. Just little light colored leaves. That's too bad. When he does flower, he's got little rounded yellow buds. Then they open up into small star-shaped white or creamy flowers. So the birds are probably the main way this guy does seed dispersal. Just send them around the desert, especially like the gray vireos and the ash-throated flycatchers. They love the seeds from this guy. And the rodents, like the little antelope squirrels, they also carry away the seeds and bury them or disperse them. But the Native Americans, they use the red sap from this tree to treat skin disorders. It's kind of an overall panacea for skin, respiratory, circulatory, and immune system problems. So if this guy can survive out here, I'm sure he's got a lot of medicinal properties you can rely on. Or a little Torote. That's everything you want to know about our elephant tree. Our Bursera microphylla up here in Anza-Borrego at our Torote Bowl. Wow, anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Have a great day. Talk to you later. Bye.